So I brought something that's kind of a downer, but I found it interesting. Because I didn't know this happened, and it's actually a fairly recent news story.
In the news.
Yeah. If this happened in America, we definitely would have heard about it more, but because it's Japan, I guess it was like a blip on our radar.
This is modern, like right now, happening.
This happened in 2019.
Okay, fairly recent, I guess.
Yeah.
That's 6 years ago, but feels like yesterday.
Yeah. So I have the Kyoto animation arson attacked.
Oh, no.
So
Kyoto animation artist attack.
animation arson attack.
Arson attacked.
So
Okay.
obviously Kyoto is, I believe, the capital of Japan, correct?
No, it's the old capital. If we were in the Middle Ages, yes.
For me, it's still the capital. So Tokyo's the real capital?
Yes.
Because I always feel like it's like New York is the capital of America, which kind of makes sense, but it's not, you know? So I feel like Tokyo being that is so obvious it has to be Kyoto, but I'm wrong. So anyway, obviously anime is a huge, huge industry.
Anime manga?
This is
Piece.
specifically anime.
Naruto. One Piece.
I want to talk about a
Bleach.
bit about the founding of this studio and what makes this, and you'll see why this attack is more brutal than others, than a regular attack would be, and you'll see why.
Okay.
So, the animation studio was founded in '85 by Yoko and Hideki Hada. Right? They start this anime company, and it's very small and it grows, but they have a different approach to anime and like how they're gonna make things.
Brothers? The two brothers?
Do they have things we know?
It's a husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
There's nothing. I think like weeaboos would know this shit, but I don't think there's anything we would know. Just looking through this, I don't know a single one of these.
Say
titles.
like one of them.
Who are those guys that like abandon life in Japan and live inside their apartment and never leave?
Most
Hiki.
of Japanese
Oh,
men.
Neats.
No.
Neats. Hike?
They have a name. There's like a word for them.
Hike. Neat.
Is that it?
I'm pretty sure it's a Hike.
I remember I watched a doc about it once.
They just don't.
They don't like
participate in life.
they just burn out and they just live inside their apartments and never leave.
Do they have jobs?
No.
Hikimori.
Hikimori.
So-
Hakikimori.
Hiki, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was close.
Yeah.
Our friends are in Japan right now.
Yes.
Yeah, they're being hikimori.
Yeah.
Hikimoris. Ooh.
They have like the first, just a couple of TV shows: Full Metal Panic, Air, Full Metal Panic, Second Raid.
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist?
No, I don't think it's related. They have this thing, Lucky Star. Again, I don't know any of this.
They didn't do One Piece.
They didn't do
No.
the real ones.
They didn't do.
Speed Racer.
They did nothing we know
They
about.
didn't do Dragon Ball Z, and that's the only one that
Yeah,
matters.
that's the
isn't
only
it?
one that anyone cares about.
Yeah.
They're like,
Pokemon.
Do you realize like anime is the biggest thing in the world?
Yeah.
Makes
And,
like
we
2
know
billion.
nothing about it.
It makes it makes $2 billion a year.
Right.
Like it's a giant industry.
Jeez.
But look, if you don't like something, you don't like
Right.
it, and that's what it is. But they want a different approach because, all right, so the biggest anime company is probably Ghibli,
Okay.
which is Miyazaki.
Spirited Away, right?
Spirited Away,
I've
My
never
Neighbor
seen it.
Totoro.
Have you seen any of those?
I've seen a fair amount. When I was going to this Manhattan a lot, IFC was doing like Miyazaki festival, and every week they were playing like a new Miyazaki movie. Like they were rerunning an old Miyazaki movie for like a week, and me and
go
the
see it.
P-Man went and saw like a bunch of them.
Okay. Did you see Spirited Away? That was the one everybody cares about.
I think I may have seen that one.
That one won awards, right?
Yeah, I think
It's
that one is
revered as,
like
one of the best animes ever made.
yeah, I think it's like
And I've never
it's
seen
like a take on Alice in Wonderland, but Japanese, but it's really cool. There's one we should do for the show called The Wind Rises, and it's it's Miyazaki's like life work, and it's about
The Zero.
the guy who designed the Zero,
That's cool.
and it's not like a joke, like it's like a
A serious animated
serious animated film about the guy who designed the Zero and like what his like ambitions were with it and like how they turned it into a weapon of war that's not what he wanted it to be, and like it's a really
let's
excellent
do that.
movie.
How do you design a fighter plane and not want it to be a weapon of war?
He liked like Like he liked designing. They get into it in the movie, you know. But yeah, that was like Miyazaki's like life's work. It's a masterpiece.
Reminds me of the bomb. Fucking
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
They used this on millions of people.
My God, they're gonna use the Earth Destroyer 2000 to kill people.
The thing
How
is-
could I have known?
The thing I spent millions of dollars making. But anyway, so Ghibli's like the biggest studio, probably, right? Kyoto Animation is smaller, and they decide they want to have a unique approach and philosophy. They're like, we want our things to be very sweet and emotional.
Okay.
So we're going to hire mostly women.
Okay.
And we're going to put an emphasis on female artists, female employees, female editors.
It's fine.
And this way they believe they're going to get a more heartfelt, emotionally based story. That's what they're
Sure.
after, right?
Sure.
And they set up their studio different. Other studios, they hire you on a per work basis. Kyoto Animation, they would give people salaries. So like they hire you to be a penciler. You're a penciler for like all their stuff. You're hired year round, right? So they have a
good
really
deal.
loving, great community. People who want to work, it becomes like a spot people want to work in, right? They rise up and they become a prominent animation studio. In let me get the exact year.
So 2019.
No.
Oh,
So
that's the attack.
at some point, I don't know the year. It's before this though. They do a contest where people can submit their work to a writing contest, and they will turn one of those into a project. Right?
Okay.
They run the contest. They do their thing like they always do. They move on. Unbeknownst to them, there was a psychopath in Japan. Now, the psychopath, I want to talk about him real quick. In 2009, his father killed himself because he's Japanese, and
That's what they do.
That happens a lot. It drives him insane, and his life spirals. In 2012, he gets arrested for stealing bread and goes to a Japanese prison.
I don't mind stealing bread.
From the mouths of decadence, because I'm going hungry.
He got arrested for stealing bread? What year is it?
It's like Fiddler on the Roof. shit, right?
1320.
What the fuck?
Surf.
Did he go on like a spirited musical chase through the streets of Agrabah afterwards?
Dun, 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 dun. I steal only what I can afford. That's everything. The guy's name is Shinji Aboa.
Uh-huh.
Or Aboa? I don't know. So he gets arrested, and let me see if I'm right about the bread.
Yeah, because that would be really bad. That's a
You
big
guys
part.
have me doubting myself.
You steal a bread?
So
I must remove your hand with samurai sword, which is now illegal in London.
can I tell you something? His Wikipedia just says he was involved in a robbery. There's absolutely nothing with
So
bread.
you invented this.
I think I had that in my head.
It could have been a violent
What the fuck
robbery.
is wrong with you?
I don't know where
You
that
gave him a medieval crime.
They thought he was a witch.
Thrown in jail for 5 years over like 7 yen.
So anyway, he gets arrested. He gets out. The contest, I think, was from 2017, right?
Okay.
When he gets out of jail, he's like has a miserable life. He's poor. He's living in like a shithole. And he writes this contest. This is his golden ticket. He writes a full novel and sends in the novel.
It's impressive.
He does not win.
He does not win the contest.
Sad. But he has a novel now.
And he never does anything with it, and he is like a crazy person. The day before the attack, he goes to a gas station with a wheelbarrow. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta back up. So he's watching TV one day, and there's a scene he sees in a Kyoto animation studio, like TV show or anime, where a character buys expired meat because that's all they can afford. And he's like, they stole that from my novel. And he flips out and he's like raging. His next door neighbor is a worker for the Kyoto animation studio.
Oh, no.
And he starts banging on this guy's like walls and door. And the guy opens the door and he's like strangling him. He's like, I'm going to kill you, you know, scream. And the guy's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? The guy runs away, gets the cops. By the time the cops get there, the guy's gone. The guy that was around him said he smelt so bad that if he walked into any restaurant in Japan, he would be thrown out. He's like, you couldn't be in the same room as this guy.
Okay.
So the next day, or while this is happening, it's like a messed up timetable on my part. He gets a wheelbarrow. He buys 2 canisters of gasoline, and he goes away. And he's like, where am I going to store this until I can burn down the place the next day? He goes to a playground that's abandoned and like covers it with a tarp. Next day is a normal day at the studio, July 18th, 2019. Full thing. Now, this is a thing that I didn't know until this story. In Japan, many of the buildings are still made of wood.
Yeah.
Because of the earthquakes.
Yeah, they shift.
I didn't know that they still use wood in that way.
They use center beams.
So this fucking guy walks into the lobby, sprays around a bunch of gasoline, lights the gas up, burns himself. He's on fire too.
Oh, suicide.
I think he was kind of, I don't think he wanted.
Might have been an accident.
I think it was an accident and he just fucked up and it got him. He rolls outside. He's like screaming on fire and flames. The fire immediately, because it's made of wood, starts rising up. People are severely burnt on the first floor. They're running up. Now, the studio is filled with like paints and chemicals and all this.
Flammable.
It creates like toxic fumes. It goes up fucking quick. There's no way out because he started the fire in the front of the building. It's like a small
Fire
building.
extinguishers? Jeez.
Now, here's the other thing. Because Kyoto Animation was a small business, it was not required by Japanese law that they have fire extinguishers or sprinklers or any of this stuff. And remember, they staff mostly women.
Oh, that's not good.
So it's a building filled with like a bunch of women doing anime working. And it's brutal. The women are trying to get to the roof. They're jumping out of the windows.
Yeah, why? Like, okay. We're a comedy history podcast, emphasis on comedy, and you're ruining the show.
Next week he's gonna do the triangle fire. Like it's just like what the fuck, bro?
Why did we do this?
I think this is an interesting story.
That doesn't mean you bring it.
I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Because no one, did you know about this?
No.
That I feel like people don't know about this. So like, there's the guy Hada gets a call. Well, he gets a call at like
It's not Halloween, is it?
no, he gets a call that the fire alarm was pulled, and he's like, "That's weird," and like he hangs up, and then he sees like he was like doing like a TV interview, and then he looks, he sees smoke coming from his studio. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he goes there. And there's survivors coming out. A lot of people couldn't get out. In total, 36 people were burnt alive. Some of the reports are brutal. Like, this woman came out, and an eyewitness said, I thought she was in a black skin suit, but she was just charred that badly from the thing. Women were throwing themselves out of windows. It was fucking dark. So... The psycho, they're like, the guy, they're like arresting him.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. And he's like, his like last words are basically like, I did this because they stole from me. Like, fuck everybody. Like, all this shit. Obviously, national tragedy in Japan. It's a big deal. It takes a little over a year to get him healthy to where they can prosecute him. Because they want to keep him alive.
Well, just kill him. I don't know why. Why keep him alive?
They want to punish him.
I guess.
So after this, they take him. He wanted the death penalty. They didn't give it to him. He's in prison to this day. And here's the postscript. The studio went to their archives of all the old submissions of things. And they looked up the guy's novel and they went through it looking for the plagiarism. It was not even remotely close to the scene that he claimed.
No, he's just a psychopath.
And he was just a psychopath, did this basically for no good reason. And that's it. And it's been a tragedy in Japan that people need to know about. I'm sorry, he got a death sentence.
Add one more body to that body count.
Do you like the band Body Count?
No. So,
And this actually changed Japan because they started trying to take shit more seriously. He was also on Japanese.
take shit more seriously?
Well, 'cause he had
What does that mean?
Well, he had written them a bunch of death threats and emails that they kind of were whatever. And after this, they started going at when people would make a death threat to Square, they would actually really investigate it.
Yeah.
Unlike our FBI, where they're he was on our radar.
Did they start putting fire extinguishers in buildings? Because that would probably be an ideal thing to do.
You would think.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Do you know who the prime minister was while this was happening?
Shinzo?
Shinzo, my boy.
Rest in peace, gone too soon. Danu-san, you must not turn your face. What's that, Shinzo? Well, I feel great. I don't know where to go from here.